Hey everybody, I'm back. To start this week, I am drinking the Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda. And I have to tell you something, it is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Low carbonation, which means it's very, very dangerous, but by far the best taste of any seltzer hard soda I've had, if you like soda. Like the citrus is green, but it tastes just like Sprite. Good news this week out of the White House that Whispering Joe told us that inflation is down. Inflation is down, the economy's booming, and then he went to say if you just don't consider gas, food, and home costs in the inflation, everything looks great. Joe, what are we counting then? Home costs, food, and gas? Aren't they the three basic things you need just to survive? But you take those out of the equation, everything's fine. I don't know what's going on there with Joe, but, I'm telling you. He just signed some type of bill that he's trying to push through that restricts schools from getting free lunch programs, free food programs, if they aren't on board in the trans education programs. So we are withholding, Joe is withholding food from needy children if the schools aren't willing to teach about transgender. I mean, hey, listen, it's Pride Month. He's doing it for Pride Month. I don't really understand. He's also up there whispering, yelling. God only knows what he's doing. Talking about the food shortages here in the United States. Be prepared. Food shortages. But then he said he is committed to combat the food shortages in Latin America. He is committed. He should be committed. Why can't we just get United States first? Can you imagine how much greater this country would be if we didn't send billions and billions of dollars all over the place? He's talking about he needs to find $40 billion for some program here in the United States. I got it. Call your buddy Zelensky in Ukraine and get that $40 billion back. I'll tell you, that's an IOU that's never going to be repaid. I'm pretty sure of that one. Are we surprised that we're having food shortages, high gas prices? If you listen carefully, Joe said he was going to do this, that he was willing to put your economics in jeopardy and your survival in jeopardy to phase out fossil fuel. He said it. Why are we surprised that he's now doing it? Have we lost our minds? We all know I think so. At least 50% of us. Can't be 81 million because certainly 81 million didn't vote. As I said, go watch 2,000 Mules. It's an eye-opener. It really is. It's like this January 6th hearing. Are we trying to impeach Trump again? How bad do they hate this guy? They don't want to see him in office. Everything was Trump. So they're showing edited videos that were put together by the Hollywood people. They're reading his Twitters, but they're leaving off key points. It is a joke. It should be under a big tent. They should all have the red wigs, the noses, and the big shoes because they're all clowns. That's what they are. I don't understand, man. People talk about it, Can you tell me one thing Joe did? Just one accomplishment. And I answer that question with Joe's a record setter. Record-setting inflation, record-setting bad economy, record-setting gas prices, record-setting milk prices, record-setting eggs prices, record-setting meat prices. The man is a record setter. So we've got that going for us. Anyone get their free crack pipe yet? Mine hasn't arrived in the mail. Still wondering about that genius move. Then we got Nancy Pelosi, the drunken hag. Nancy Pelosi, whose husband Paul had a DUI. She got in touch with Governor Newsom and pleaded with him to get the charges dropped. Talk about white privilege. White privilege? No, it's liberal privilege, not white privilege. You and I get a DUI, we're in jail, man. It's costing a lot of money. She makes a phone call to the governor. Whoa, suddenly the dashboard cam disappears. He can't find his mugshot anymore. He's out. But that's not even it. She must have headed down to the local tavern and tapped in a few more than she usually says. And she said, building a wall will violate the rights of millions of illegals. What? What rights in the United States the millions of illegals have. You have the right to anything. You're illegal. You do something illegal, there's a consequence. The only right you have is to get sent back to your country or get thrown in jail. Have another, Nancy. As I said before, it is Pride Month. And as everybody knows, I'm for the gay community. They really are some of the most kindest, sensitive, nice, caring people I've ever met. And the people that I know in the gay community were always looking for equality and acceptance. It's 2020, 2022. We should have quality and acceptance. But it is morphed into a culture that says, look at me. Look at who I am. Look at how flamboyant I can be. Look at how crazy I could be being gay and alternative lifestyle. It's insanity. It is complete insanity. It's to the point now where they're hosting drag shows in gay bars for children. I don't know. I may have missed this class in school. But what are we doing? Gay bars, children, trans shows, drag shows shouldn't match. What is wrong with these parents? They're giving their kids dollar bills to stick in the underwear of these trans men. The call should have been to the police or CPS. These are horrible parents. What are we doing? Nobody needs this in any society, and I shouldn't be the only one to say it. 99% of our population should say it. The 1% who shouldn't are the gays, the LGBTs who are doing this. Not the ones who just want equality acceptance. This is insanity already. Keep your children out of gay bars and away from drag shows. I may need 2 drinks today. Bad parenting, man. Bad parenting. I don't know. It used to be a day where a MAGA hat was considered offensive, but now bringing a first grader to a drag show in a gay bar is acceptable. I don't know. I'm pretty offended at that. Hat in the words don't bother me. Right, hey, good to know that Burger King has celebrating Pride Month. They have the picture of the Big Mac. One Big Mac has 2 tops, the other one has 2 bottoms. Go Burger King. That's a whopper, all right. I don't know. It's part of the reason kids are messed up today. It's a culture of entitlism that as soon as something happens, the parent runs to them. The kids don't know how to cope. They don't know how to cope with anything. It's insane. You have all these kids, it's a record number of kids taking anxiety, depression, stress medication because they don't know how to cope. Yes, there are cases where children and kids do need it because this situation is so bad. But I remember back in the day, there was no stress, there was no anxiety medication. You know what? I had anxiety when I did something so incredibly stupid and I knew I had to go home to my father. That's called anxiety. And the stress was me seeing the car there and opening that front door and him saying, angry? That was stress. The medicine was the ass whooping that I took that I never went back to that stupid behavior. Well, I wouldn't say never. Maybe a few times. But certainly, the medicine worked most of the time. What are we doing? Get your kids off of the iPads. Get your kids off of the Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And I know there are parents out there suing Facebook for bullying. Facebook isn't bullying. How about you monitor your kids' activities in 8th grade, 7th grade, 6th grade, 4th grade, 9th grade? Why don't you spend some time with them? Why don't you read with them? Go see a movie. Eat dinner with them every night. This is on you. Stop using electronics as a babysitter because it never works out. Our society is crumbling. 78 years ago, a group of 18-year-olds stormed the beach at Normandy. Now what they're doing, these same men or boys are crying for no reason at all and being applauded for wearing dresses. How far have we come? We are so far from the greatest generation, it's sickening. We need to get back to that. And I said it before, bring balls back. We need to be better than this. Let's see, what else do I got here? I don't know. We have a woman in Wisconsin claims she got a sexually transmitted disease in her ex-boyfriend's Hyundai Genesis. Well, she must have been very flexible to start with. Hyundai Genesis, pretty small car. So, she sued. Who did she sue? The insurance company. Car insurance company. The car insurance company paid her $5.2 million in a settlement. Anybody wants to claim that I gave him an STD will sue the insurance company. I'll give you 3/4. You can take it. I'll give you 3/4. Just chuck some my way. Can you imagine this? The choice she made at the insurance company, 5.2. It's a true story. Wisconsin. Check it out. No joke. Somebody said that now the gas is higher than the price of cocaine. Maybe we should all start snorting and just run to where we gotta go to save a lot of money. Thinking that's maybe a good idea. I'm not really sure, but who knows? Keep talking about these sensible gun laws. Can anybody name me just one sensible gun law right now that criminals are following? Oh, before I do the mass shooting, let me get my red flagged. Before I do the mass shooting, let me just get everybody my fingerprints. Before I do the mass shooting, let me register all my guns. Before I commit these crimes and shoot people, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to follow every single gun law right until I pull the trigger. Have we all lost our minds? It's like these people saying that schools should have, and I read this today, should have a 15-foot fence around the perimeter, single entry, single exit. It'd be like shooting fish in a barrel. It really would be. Can you imagine getting 1,000 kids in at 8 o'clock in the same spot? I mean, it's a ridiculous suggestion. People are idiots. They don't really think things through. You know what we call a place with a 15-foot fence with barbed wire and surveillance around it, single entrance, single exit? We call it a prison. Is that where we're looking to go? Got to be better than that. I'm not saying things don't need to change, but come on. Think it out already. Think it out. The CDC is struck again with the monkeypox. Monkeypox apparently is a sexually transmitted disease, but the CDC recommended wearing a mask. I don't know if it's spreading that sexually transmitted disease, but wear a mask. I don't know. Once again, ask my wife, not the brightest guy. Maybe recommend a condom? Safe sex? I'm just saying, once again, I don't work for the CDC. They get paid a lot of money. They want to get me for some common sense consulting. Call me up, man. I'm down. I'm almost done with this already. Now, apparently, there's a big tampon shortage. Didn't happen before the transgender population, so I'm blaming these trans women. They don't know how to use tampons, so they're using quite a bit of them just to prove a point that they're real women. All right, last thing today before I get into the actual end. A piece of advice, first one I got in a while. Dear Angry Mac, my husband is getting drunk more often than ever. I understand that when one partner gets drunk more than the other partner on a regular basis, the marriage often ends up in divorce. I love the man dearly. He's a good man. How can I get help? What can I do? Slam dunk. Why don't you sit around and drink with him? Maybe if you drink with him and spend some time with him, you wouldn't be drinking by yourself. You both drink yourselves in oblivion. Happy life, happy wife, happy times. Do whatever you need. Have a drink. Go get yourself a Bud Light seltzer. They come in cherry cola, citrus, and orange, and they're all fantastic. And that's an unpaid advertisement. Now, I just want to tell everybody, I finish up every week with tell the people you love them. A few years ago, a good friend of mine, Darren, passed away suddenly, and I didn't get a chance to tell him enough that I loved him. I didn't get a chance. Today's his birthday. Happy birthday, Darren. It's really hard for me not even to well up telling you guys out there. So, the people who are important in your life, don't take it for granted. Everything else is nonsense. Everything else is the great comedy. The comedian was correct. It's all a joke. The great comedy. Now, find somebody you love. Tell them, I love you. The 3 most powerful words you can say to somebody else. Say it. Don't wait. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. I'll see everybody next week. Cheers. Not much left.